And the legal battle over voter eligibility could be critical in several swing states, including, and importantly, Florida, where the state has gained access to federal data to aid them in challenging residents' right to vote. Charlie Crist is an independent who served as governor of Florida, of course, for 4 years and has been particularly outspoken against what he calls a shameless voter purge. And he joins me now. Governor, thank you very much for being with us. Let's talk about what your successor and team are doing in Florida, because they say that this is a necessary move to purge the voter rolls of illegal voters.
Well, it's a great concern to me, and I think most of my fellow Floridians, and the concern really is on sort of a closing the door on democracy, if you will, by making it much more difficult for Floridians to exercise their precious right to vote. For example, they've already changed the policy as it relates to former nonviolent felons. We had established a policy where they would have their rights automatically restored, give them the opportunity to vote once they had served their time and paid their debt to society. And it's really based on forgiveness and giving them that opportunity. That has now been changed under the new administration. In addition, they've also said that early voting, which is a great tradition in Florida, has been reduced from a 14-day period before the election to 8 days before, making it again more difficult for legal citizens to have their right to vote be heard. And, you know, in Florida, we have a history of having some pretty close elections. I think everybody remembers 2000 and how close that was. And so every single vote really matters. And the notion and the idea of making it more difficult to exercise this precious right that so many people have fought and died for our fellow Americans and my fellow Floridians is just unconscionable to me.
Eric Holder, the Attorney General in New Orleans a week or so ago, referred to these as Jim Crow laws. Let me play a little bit of that.
Many of those without IDs would have to travel great distances to get them. And some would struggle to pay for the documents they might need to obtain them. We call those poll taxes.
Do you agree with Eric Holder?
Well, I think he's on the right track. I mean, anytime you put more impediments into a citizen's right, a legal citizen's right to vote, and make that more difficult, you impede the natural right of democracy and the citizens' right to have their voice heard in important elections. We obviously have a very important election coming this November. The presidential race is paramount, and it's going to be a clear choice where a decision will have to be made whether to re-elect President Obama or make a change. And if you make it more difficult for people to have the opportunity to exercise their right, you're not doing them a favor, you're not doing democracy a favor, you're impeding that process, and it's just plain wrong.
We had coverage yesterday from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, where there is another initiative, and a number of states are now moving in this direction. Obviously, in Pennsylvania, if people in Philadelphia, for instance, the city of Philadelphia, have to have legitimate driver's licenses, when many of them use mass transit, do not have driver's licenses, don't have the money to go and get driver's licenses, this could really suppress the vote in Philadelphia, a vote that would normally be for Barack Obama in the city of Philadelphia over Mitt Romney. So this could make a big difference. I was very struck by your op-ed in the Washington Post about this subject over the weekend. Have you decided, I know you're an independent, Governor, have you decided whether you're going to get involved in this campaign year on the side of either Mitt Romney or President Obama?
I have not made that decision yet. I'm following this campaign very closely. It means an awful lot to the future of Florida and the future of our country, and so I'll continue to do so, but at this time I've made no decision.
And what do you think about Marco Rubio, the man whom you lost to, who is being considered for the possible slot on the ticket?
I think he's a real nice guy.
Qualified to be vice president?
I'll leave that to others to decide.
Enough said. Thank you very much, Charlie Crist, former governor of Florida.
My pleasure, Andrea. Thank you.